Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a bit of a different one today. This is going to be a rebuild in Brazil. So I've actually gone for a team that was recommended in the comments, which is Palmeiras. Obviously, remember they have some good former players. Gabriel Jesus is the most recent example. They've also got one man who everyone wants, Endrick. He's going to Real Madrid, but not until 2024. So we've got another 2 seasons with him. So I'm hoping we can try and develop him as much as we can in those 2 seasons, just so we can take advantage. I don't care what happens when he leaves, but if he can develop quite quickly and we can make the most of him, absolutely brilliant. That would be great. He's also going for 62 million. I don't know how it works on this game. My hope is when he does leave, we will get that 62 million at that point, so that I can spend it. But we'll have to wait and see. Transfer-wise, they did give me quite a bit of budget. Now, one of these transfers, this one, is not happening yet because I've just went in for him, but I'm expecting this one to come through. But other than that, we have signed Brian Agril, who is a right back. The right back we had is quite old. He was 32, so I was I need a younger right back. He's 21, still got good potential, good first division player, really well rounded. He's wanted by a lot of Prem clubs, so I tried to get him quickly as I can. He'll be coming on the 19th. We got Danny Rosero, who is just a depth option at centre-back. He's just coming in on loan. He's decent first division. I have no real major hopes for him. He's literally going to be a backup option. Breno, 3 million. He is going to be our first choice keeper. Again, good potential lead in first division. Our keepers are quite old. Let's have a look at them. They were 35 and 34, so I think we need a younger keeper. So that is my aim here. So we'll get a younger keeper in. Look at this with our right back. So 33 and 29. We need a new right back. The one who's leaving is the 33-year-old. He does look really, really good. But I think 33, I need someone younger to help me with this. So he's going to be going, and we're going to have the new right back in. Pre-season I'll get into now. So I've tried to get some challenging games this pre-season, and that's what we did. So we drew with Everton 1-1, Ronnie with the solo goal. Jose Lopez with our solo goal as 2-1 loss against Man City. These are all away, mind you. And then Villa mounted a late comeback to, well, I'll say late. They scored in the 89th minute to make it a draw, make it a win for them rather than a draw. And that was, and that again was away, so that was a really good result. 2-0 against Cha. Gustavo, Gomez and Lopez. Lopez obviously and Rafael scored against Villa. Reserves we actually lost 3-2. Lopez and Endrick with the goals for us. And then the second 11, Tabava, Murillo and Zega with the goals for us. They did have some really good players there. Lopez and Menino, who I reckon will be starters for us. And there's only one other more recent friendly, which was here against Everton. And that is a 1-1 draw. Ronnie Lopez with the solo goal. So this is how I want to line up. I'm a bit torn because I want to get the best out of Endrick because he's got really good potential. If he can develop nicely, it'd be good for us. I also want to get the best out of this guy. He's actually staying with us. I may have a look. He has 55 million release clause, but look at this. He's got really good potential. He's a good player now. I want him to be our starting striker, but then the problem I've got is we've got 2 great attackers here, Dudu and Ronnie, who would then be fighting for one spot, but I think that's what I kind of need to do, just to try and long-term, hopefully, improve. So that's going to be what I'm going to do. These 2 are the only 2 I'm going to select in their position and say if, obviously, what's the element for? If available, pick these 2, start these 2, that's all I'm going to say. But I'll simulate now until the end of the season. We'll see how we got on, see if Hendricks come along or Lopez has come along, and I'll see you then. Guys, and welcome to the end of season number 1. Let's get into our competitions and we'll see how we did. Right. Okay. Very, very disappointing in the league. Supposed to win the league. Finished 5th. Bored. Are somehow happy. Supporters, I aren't. Win the first and fail. Disappointed. We're finishing above FLA, who were the winners. But looking at everything else, so in the Brazilian Cup we won that, so we are the holders of that. Brazilian Cup we won again, quarterfinal, win Sao Paulo, so we achieved that. Reached the quarterfinals of Los Libertadores. We lost in the final, and we won the South American Recopa. So we won 3 trophies, but we didn't win as many as we'd like. So let's have a look at our form. So we started really well, but obviously there's a big drop off here. How did our players do? Because I'll be honest, I came back mid-season and I realised one thing. And the main thing I realised is how many games there is. Like, this is an insane amount of games for any team to do. It was 38 here. Right, so let's work it out. How many games? 38 in the league. State championships we done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So another 16 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I believe 2 here. So that is a lot of games. Looking at, I'm not doing the maths here. See if it tells me on my profile how many games we've done. No, but I believe club info. Doesn't, because it's a simulation. That is a shame. Well, just go by the most appearances. The most appearances is 58 with 7 sub-appearances. So we do play a ridiculous amount of games. But looking at appearance, Ronnie was our main man. 31 goals, 8 assists. Really good player, really stand out. He's done extremely well. Then it was Jose Manuel Lopez with 23. He's the youngster who I wanted to develop. He's done really well on his season. He is a lead in first division, so really good with that. Vega got 15. Navarro got 15. Zertz got 13. And Endrick got 10. So Endrick didn't do as hot as I would like, but he's developing quite nicely. So maybe next season he'll come on. Assist-wise, it was Matis Zarcano, Lopez, Tabat with our main ones, and then obviously Lopez with our highest rating, Zarcho with second highest, Breno with the third highest, and Ronnie with the fourth. Looking at appearances, Breno, how's he developed? So he's developed quite nicely. He's quite a well-rounded keeper now. Don't know what I did there. Again, it's still a good first division, so still room for him to grow. But I think the main learning I've got is we've got like 70 games, got a squad of 30 people. I think I don't like having huge squads, but I think I kind of need some, just for depth reasons, because that is a ridiculous run. So I think I'm going to need some more depth. That's going to be my aim for the pre-season, to get as much depth as I can. Let's see if it lets us go over the youth candidates, because we had a couple of good. So these are the 3 good ones we had. The rest weren't really good enough. But we had Clayton Barrero, who looks really good, 5-star potential, so he's signed. Gustavo, again, really good potential, but not as 5-star, but 4.5, so really happy with him. And then Henrique, 5-star potential, again, really good young player. So we've got some good youth coming in. But let's just see now how we do over in the window, and I'll come back and let you know. Season at number 2. The weird thing I've got here is I've tried to have a look at our friendlies, and they don't actually show up. What's this actually? Read it now. So our friendlies aren't actually showing up, which I find incredibly odd. I've had a look here. These are just last year's fixtures. Our friendlies just aren't showing up. So I don't really know how to go through them all with you, because they're not actually here, and I don't know where they've gone. So that's something new, but I will go through our transfers, and then we'll sort of come back at the end of the season again. So transfer-wise, we have only made 1 signing so far, which is Fred on loan. 2.9 million fee. Obviously, really great player. He is Brazilian. Good stamina, good teamwork, good work rate. I said I wanted depth. He's come in for that. He's a leading first division player. There's only one more player I'm actually in talks with, which is this guy, Luca Varsimo, which is a defender. He's already a leading first division player. Again, for depth, I think attack-wise, I'm pretty happy with our depth. Defence was where we were concerning last year. Attack-wise, we've got quite a lot of attackers, and also a few of them came back off loan. So there's a few attackers which came back off loan, so I'm quite happy with our attacking depth. Like, looking there, midfield's fine. I think it is genuinely defence we need. Well, midfield's fine now. I think it is mainly defence we need. What I am also going to do, I'm actually going to try a different formation. I'm going to try the GYRFM Swans alone with this formation. Last year, I was doing the Dynamite one because the most suited one for the team was a 4-3-3. I am going to try this just because I think it's more attacking and I want us to try and play like we are basically the best team in the league, which we should be. So last season they wanted us to win the league. This season we're predicted to finish second. We need to make sure we are meeting our expectations. I want to see us do better in that. So I want to try and play in the front foot and see if that makes a difference. But what I will do is I'll see you now at the end of the season. We'll see how we got on. Guys, and welcome to the end of season number 2. Now, let's get into it and see how we've done. Okay, so a lot better than last season in the Brazilian First Division. We finished second. Last season we finished 6th, I believe. Let's have a look. So, last season we finished... No, it's 5th on 70 points. This season we finished 2nd on 85. So, it is improvements. That's where we were expected to be. We have also got the top goal scorer in the league and the second most assists. So, Lopez, the one who we said had great potential, now a leading Premier League player, leading First Division player, got a bag of goals this year. He's improved year on year, so he's doing exceptionally, which is really good. Looking at the other competition, so the Brazilian Sao Paulo State Championships, we won again, the second year running. No, wait, what? No, we didn't. Where did we get to on here? Sam. Oh, we lost in the semi-finals. Oh, that's a shame. But, oh well, it was expected to win. They're a bit disappointed, but league-wise, they're really happy. Everything else, they're really happy. Copa Libertadores, we won. So we won this season. We finished runners-up last year, so we beat FLA, the league leaders, on this one. So that's really good. Brazilian Cup, again, winner, and Brazilian Super Cup runner-up, unfortunately. So for that one, we lost 4-0 to the league leaders. Endrick was the top scorer in the Brazilian Cup with 10 goals. He's had a phenomenal season. Value has gone up and he's improved a lot. He's going to obviously be going to Real Madrid next season, or sort of like the middle of next season. So I haven't got long left with him. But I would say it's a really good season. The board are really happy. Supporters are still, they're pleased, but they're not delighted. But board A+, so really happy with that. Passed, failed, passed. On course, delighted, satisfied. So they're really happy with that. So, yeah, really good season for us. Let's have a look at some individual performances then. So, general info, no, not contracts. Reports. What am I doing? Right, selection info. That'll show us how the team are doing. So most goals was Jose Lopez with 47. Endrick was second with 23. Tabia got 23 and Ronnie got 19. So Ronnie's still doing really good. A 28-year-old now. Still a leading First Division player. Looks really good. Dudu got 16. So he's done really well as well. He's 31 now though. Zakaria got 14, so he's done really well yet again. Assist-wise, Bruno Tabata got 30 assists, so fair play to him. Last season he didn't do as well, but he got 30 this season, so fair play to him. I think it's because we had that position on lock with Endrick. Dudu got 18, Ronnie got 13, the same with Vega, and Endrick got 10, along with Real and Zakaria. So some really good performances there. Our highest average rating was Gabriel Silva. Didn't really play. I'm not counting him. Was Lopez and then Tabitha after. So some really good performances there. Now I will see you guys at the beginning of season number 3, so I can see who we're gonna get or who I can sign, and we'll take it from there. Hello guys, and welcome to the beginning of season number 3. There's a couple of transfers to let you know on, one being a very big one. So let's get into it. So these are just youth guys. Unfortunately, the only problem with simulating this is we miss out on the youth intake. So I've just went back through, checked who we had. Obviously, this guy, I signed him up. I signed up the ones who were good enough star to be worth signing, just because we missed out on them. So I've re-signed them. But these are the only 2 transfers to be aware of. Arthur, on loan for Juventus, 16.5 value, leading first division player. Really good, well-rounded. He's 27, so he's younger than Fred, so I figured I'd take a gamble on him and see how we do. Financially, we're in a really good place. The board aren't really giving me much money, which is a disappointment, but we'll see that. And then 17.75, most of that's in future fees, so I'm hoping our board will be less stingy for Job Bellingham. Looking at this, he's wanted already. He's literally just signed. Oh, loan, that's fine. He's not going anywhere. But really well-rounded. Everyone knows his potential to be a 5-star, decent first division already, so I'm really happy with his signing, and hopefully he can be our star player. He can be our new Endrick, and we'll see what happens there. We've obviously still got Endrick to go at mid-season, so mid-season he's going to go. Maybe they'll give us that 62 million then. Who knows? Or actually, let's have a look. Income this season. Transfer. Where's players sold? No, we haven't got it this season or last season, so hopefully that money will come in January. Well, this league's January, which I believe. There we are. In July. So in July, should get some money for this guy, and hopefully that'll help us towards making some big signings in July. But we'll have to wait and see with that one. But that's all we're going to do transfer-wise for now. We've got one player actually coming in potentially on loan, which is this guy, Philippe Johnson. So he may be coming in as loan just as a depth option at left back. But other than that, there's no other signings expected through the door. I will now simulate this season, and we'll see how we got on in the 3rd season. Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the end of season number 3. There's a bit of transfer news to actually let you know of, because in January I decided to make a couple of signings. So the ones I made is I signed Alfie Dorrington on a free transfer. Just a depth option. He's a good young player. I'm hoping potentially I'll loan him out, be able to sell him for some profit later on. John Arias, another one, brought in on a free transfer. I'll probably sell him in the summer. Fred, free transfer again, because luckily our January window seems to time in with when the end of the Premier League season is, so I can try and get some free signings. Did have a goalkeeper lined up and Hannibal from Man United as well, but they both rejected us. Ryan Pardo Parquez, who is a young regen keeper, potentially 5-star, so I got him in as well. And they've also got Amid Diallo, who the frustrating part is I couldn't actually register because I realised there was too many changes, so I couldn't register him. But those are the ones who've gone, who came in. Obviously, main person's left here, which is Endrick. I realised I said signings in January, signings in July. This is throwing me off these windows, but Endrick also left in July. He's at Real Madrid now. He's valued at 106 to 112 million, but it looks like he's barely played for them. And when he hasn't played well. He was doing really well for us before. 20 goals halfway through the season, which is really good. But that's how we went transfer-wise. Now let me get into and I'll show you the competitions. Okay, so we finished second again. This time more of a gap between us and first. They unfortunately signed someone on loan who I tried to sign, which is Gabriel Barbosa, who got 42 goals. It's kind of annoying, but I kind of wanted him, couldn't get him, and he's ended up going there, which is frustrating. But finished second in that. The Brazilian Sao Paulo State Championships he won We lost in the semi-final Cop Libertadores. Again, we won that once out of 3 times so far. We won the South American Recopa. We lost the Brazilian Super Cup runner-up to, again, top of the league, and knocked out in the 4th round by top of the league in the Brazilian Cup. So only got the 2 trophies this year. Bit of a disappointing time, but hopefully next year we can carry on. Ronnie is still banging in the goals. I think our strategy needs to go to more younger players at the minute, but the problem is attracting them. I'm really struggling to attract good young players at the minute, so we'll have to see how that goes. But that is going to have to be our strategy. But either way, that has been the end of the 2nd season. Let's have a look at some performances, and then we'll see where we can go for next year. Actually, let's have a look at ability. So Ronnie is our best player. He's 4-star, really good player, 29-star 1st division player. He is wanted by Real Madrid, 21 million. If we can get a decent fee from him, I may be considering selling him, but we'll have to see. Wolves want Gabriel Moreno, again, really good player, 10.5 to 11. Potential-wise, we've still got Pardo, Luis Guella, who is a young 18-year-old striker. He's looking pretty good. And also Joe Bellingham, who is now 3 stars, still potential 5-star. Good 1st division player. Really well-rounded. So those 3 I'm hoping will come on quite a lot. Looking at selection info, so most goals was Ronnie Lopez. Bruno Tabata had 20 goals. I believe he had 20 assists last season, so he's doing really well for us. Lopez, 15 goals. He's continuing to do well. Guerrero had 9. Dudu had 8. Zacharo had 8. Assist-wise, Dudu's top. Arthur with 12 is second. And then Bruno with 12. So they've done really well. But that's how we've done that's how we've done sort of squad-wise. I will see you at the beginning of the 2nd season. What I want to show you first, actually, is if it's still here. Yes, youth. So we've had a really good youth intake. We've had Alessandro here, who is potential 4.5-star. He's a good ball-winning midfielder. Paulo Sergio, a 5-star. He's a central midfielder. Lucas, who is a central defender, potential 5-star. Pretty decent stats already, mind. We've also had these 3. So Marcio Calm is the pick of the bunch. He is a central attacking mid, potential 3.5. Casio Pazmento, who is potential 4-star. And Luis Enrique, who is 3.5. Looks pretty decent. But looking at our development pool, Enrique is the best regen who's coming through. I may look leading 3rd. I want him to develop a bit more, and then I'll potentially look to get him into our 1st team. But I am keeping an eye on these guys just to see, because if he can develop to even a 2nd division player, I may look to promote him and just see how much depth he can give us. But we'll have to wait and see with that one. But that has been it for the 3rd season. I'll see you back at the beginning of the 4th. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I have a bit of bad news in that I've had to play some games to get my transfer business done, because there was a lot of sales I had to do and some wheeling and dealing, shall we say. I've still got 2.9 left. I'm probably not going to use that. Financially still in a good place of 43 million in the bank. But let's go through our transfer. So is there anyone on this side? Yeah, Arthur, 3.5 million. Got him in, valued at 6 to 8. Only 28. An important player, so he's a leading 1st division player. I thought that was an absolute bargain. He got, how many assists was it? 12 assists for his last season, so I'm hoping he can come in and continue to do a great job. Outgoing wise, did we make any? No, there was none after Endrick, but there was quite a few this year. So we sold John Arias, who we've signed on a free for 4.4 million, so he's gone. Rafael Navarro has gone for 4 million. Luan has gone for 3.1, rising to 3.8. Gabriel Silva's gone for 2.5. George has gone for 1.9. A lot of these players' values are inflating straight after the leave. He's gone to 1.4, which is a bit of a shame, but nothing can really be done. So we got in 17.25, which is the most we've got. Yeah, 2.1. It says it's 67, but I did not see any of that 67 million. I don't know where it went, but it did not come to me. So I don't know what happened with there. He's not really playing. I wonder if we can... No. They want one... Yeah, they want a couple of million fee, so it's not going to work. But we spent 37 million. So the first one we bought in was Miguel Hawani from Cesar Vallejo for 1.3. To be honest, he's just a young potential player. He's really quick, got good first touch. He's only 18, but his potential 5-star is already a good first division player. I wanted to improve our wings because I think we struggled there. The next one was 230k for Angst Kita, already valued at 800 to 1.3. Again, potential 5-star striker, good first touch, pretty well rounded. He's 18, got lots of room to go, so I'm hoping he'll be able to. And either we'll sell him for profit in next season. Well, only got this season and next season left, or he'll develop really well. Got Jerome Gonzalez for 5 million, rising to 6 million. I realised we skipped some, we'll get to that. He is a striker. He's in our reserves for now. Actually, no, he's not going to be. So I'm actually going to promote him. We'll make him available for our reserves in case we need him. But he's got great finishing at 18. Really good potential as well. Luis Henrique, 7.5 rising to 10. Good centre back. He's got good tackling, good physicals. Mentals are looking pretty good for an 18-year-old. Again, decent first division already and could improve a lot. So I'm hoping he'll be a really good player for us. The other one, our big signing for 20 million rising to 29.5 was Richarlison. 27 still, 37 caps for Brazil, valued at 59 to 74 now already. He's a leading first division. Based on those, I thought it was going to be a star, but never mind. Really well rounded. He's an incredible player. He is going to hopefully lead our line and be our star man now Hendrick's gone. We also got Jan Couto from Man City on loan. He's a right back. Decent stats, well rounded, valued at 29 to 34. Just come in, to be honest, as a depth player. He can also play on the wing, but not great, but he can play there. So he's just coming as a depth option. The next one was Coutinho, loan fee at 3 million. But again, physical's not great, but it's like free kick taking, dribbling, first touch, vision. He's got some good physicals there. He will be leaving on a free transfer from them. So maybe we could look into, depending how he does, get him on a free transfer. But again, he's Brazilian, good first division player. He'll be there as sort of a depth option. But they are our signings. I'll go into the fixtures we played so far. So far, we beat GN 4-0, Lopez with 2, Zakaria and Ronnie with the other goals. We drew 3-3 with MFC, Michael with 2 and Ronnie with another one. Michael's our centre-back. He's doing quite well. He's sort of at the end of his potential, and he's 21. Hoping he can continue to improve this season, but we'll have to see with that. We then drew 2-2 with I2. Manuel Lopez with 2 goals. 3-1 against San with Ronnie with 2 goals and Lopez with 1. 2-0 against Gua, Ronnie with 1 and Lopez with 1. 4-0 against Agua Santa, Michael, Joaquin, Morentel and Fred with the goals, and then 2-1 loss to BTF with Richarlison with the only goal. So we kind of had to play them because I wanted to get some business done. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any done earlier, and because of the wheeling deal needing to sell people, it kind of meant it pushed on into the season. So I needed to get them done, but that's how we've started the season. Hopefully we can carry on and do well. We're top of the group with 4 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss, so 14 points to 8. So we should be getting through the group stage. But unfortunately, I had to start that to basically carry on. So I will see you now at the end of the season, and we'll see how season number 4 gets on. Hello guys, and welcome to the end of season number 4. In the January window, there was one signing made, which was Edouard Miller, on a free transfer. There was no one really else on a free transfer that was worth taking up, but I figured he was, again, I said in July, he was the only one who was really worth taking up, so I did take him up on a free transfer. But other than that, there was no other business in January. Now let's get into the season and see how we did in our 4th season. Right, okay. So by the looks of this, we won absolutely nothing. Did we not have a... No, we didn't. Yeah, we knocked out in the third round of the Brazilian Cup, which is the board are not happy with. So let's have a look at this. Knocked out by... in the second division, that's shocking. Quarter-final by San, who finished above us. And Brazilian State, we lost in semi-final to, again, a second division team, who ended up winning it, funnily enough. And we finished third, lots less points than we did last year. So that is absolutely shocking. We didn't win a single thing this year. Let's have a look at a couple of performances to see how performance-wise we did. So, top was Lopez with 41 goals. So he had a good season. But it doesn't look like anyone around him did. Richarlison had 23 goals, so he done alright. Ronnie got 20 goals, so he's done okay. 10 for Bruno. 4 for Michael, 4 for Moreno. Assist-wise, top was Ronnie, second was Richarlison, and then Tabath. And average rating-wise, we only had 5 players above a 7. So a bit of a drop-off compared to last season. So a massive drop-off. Looking at our results, we had a massive rough patch in May. Okay, and in April, and we also didn't do too well in August, but towards the end of the season we sort of picked up our form. That is really disappointing. I need to have a look now and see if we can do some wheeling and dealing, because that's not good enough. I want us to ideally win this in our final season, but we're a massive way off. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can actually do that. But I will see you back for the final season. We'll see if we can do anything. As for youth, guys, there's not really a lot to update you on. So this is how our youth is looking. So we got Lucas, who's a centre back. He's still a third division standard player. Polos, he's developing actually quite nicely. He's a second division player. I'm going to promote him. I'm going to make him available for the reserves, just so he's in and around the first team. Julio Caesar, he's developing quite nicely as well. Again, a second division, so promote, available for reserves. So he's developing quite nicely. Roberto, enthusiastic winger, he looks pretty good, leading third division. Cheto, he's developing quite nicely, decent second division. Yet again, I'm going to promote and make available for reserve, so he's developing quite nicely. Maybe he'll come on. And Ange Kita, who doesn't look developing that well, but leading third division player, potential 5-star. They're the main ones sort of from our youth. But there's not really any standouts. Let's look at the youth actually in our first team at the minute. Obviously, I just promoted some of these. This guy's a good first division player, didn't really play. And a good second division player. Did he play? He played a bit, but not too much, mainly as a sub. He did not get as much game time as we should have got him. This guy didn't play at all. Luis Enrique played quite a lot, this guy. Good first division, so he played quite a lot, which is good. Enrique didn't really play. Job played a lot, and he's developed quite well, but he's still not the standard I'd expect yet. So we're not developing as well as I would like a lot of our youngsters, but I think I may just have to slot a couple of them in this season and just see how it goes. But that is how we've done this season. I'll be back for the fifth and final season, and we'll see if we can't try to win the league. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to season number 5 of my Palmeiras save. We'll just get into our transfers and then we'll get into the results so far. So transfer-wise, on the outs, there was no one at that time. So this season, we signed Lamberto Di Hagne for 3.5. He's a centre-back. Good first division player already, so he's a good centre-back coming in. Luigi Hamilton, these are all youth players. He signed up Firmino for 2.3 million as sort of a depth option, a leading first division player. Still got some good attributes, but physically is not all there. But obviously he's our third choice striker, so he's doing really well. We signed Pedrinho for 10.25, rising to 12.75 from Shakhtar, oil value at 25 to 27. Good first division player, some really good attributes, really well rounded, and he's Brazilian. And we've also signed Clevan for 15, rising to 18 million. He is a superb right back. 33 rising to 36. He's literally well-rounded. He's the definition of well-rounded. He's a lead in first division, and there's not a single attribute there below 10, which is ridiculous. So he's really good. On the outs, Gelson's gone, Diallo's gone, Michael has gone for 2.5, so he's the young centre-back who done alright last season. Raphael's gone for 1.1. Breno has gone for 6.25, rising to 7, so made a bit of profit on him. To be honest, the reason I sold him is just been complaining every season about wanting to leave. Just figured best get him gone. Morental has gone on a loan, and Dudu has gone for free because he was on 85k per week, and he wasn't really doing it last season for us, so I've let him go. We have got a lot of money left, 6.4 and 12.75, but I don't really feel the need to buy anyone. If someone good comes up, I may have a look into it. There's no one really. Obviously, ideally, I'd love to sign some top players for each position, but it's just not really happening. Looking at our best lineup now, though, we have got this is our best lineup. So midfield, I think, really solid. Those two against each other. Tava been consistent for us. So Charlton's been consistent. Lopez. I will be swapping these two because I want Bellingham in the number 10 role. Centre back, really good, Gomez and Vesmero. And obviously we've got our good young wonder kid keeper in goal. So I think that's a really good squad for us to sort of take on the challenge this season with. Starting off, we have played 5 games. We've won 4 of them. So 2-1 against Guar, Zakaria and an own goal. 1-0 against San with Lopez with the goal. 6-0 against Santo Andre even, sorry. Joachim with 2, Lopez with 1, Bellingham with 1, and Bruno Tabata with 1, and then Pedrinho scored in the 81st minute, and then 1-0 against SPE. So a pretty good start to the season. That does leave us first in the group with 12 points, next to being 10. I think it's a really good start for us. I'm going to simulate now until the end of the season, and we'll see how we got on. Hello guys, and welcome to the very final episode of my Palmeiras save. I'm going to go through now. We'll see how we've done, because transfer-wise, there wasn't any business in January. There was nothing I could really do. So we're just going to go through transfer-wise and have a look and see how... we're going to see competition-wise how we've done. Awful. Okay, great. So we finished in the quarterfinals of the Sao Paulo State, which they're not happy about. Reached the semi-final of the Brazilian Cup, which they are happy about, and knocked out in the quarter-final of the Copa Libertadores. But we managed to finish second in the league. So a really, again, disappointing season. We haven't won anything, which is a massive drop-off compared to where we were. Let's have a look at our schedule to see how it's sort of gone for us. Right, so started really well. Rough patch here in May to be honest, July. Another rough patch here in August. And then November was just atrocious, losing 4 games in a row. Right, so I was really not great. How did our players do? So top goal scorer was Jose Manuel Lopez, who's developed quite nicely on this save. Should be. No, still leading. Doesn't need to be a star player, but he's developed quite nicely. He's done really well for us throughout the save. Richarlison done well as well with 17 goals, so he's done well. Tabitha got 16, and Firmino got 16, and Lewis Guerme got 16 is 14 even. So Firmino, nice. So they've done alright, but assist-wise, top one is Bruno Tabata again. This time he's got 28, Richarlison had 20, so those two done quite well assist-wise. Let's have a look at a couple of our young players just to see how they've gone on. So, developing quite nicely, good first division player. I think what the easiest way to do this actually might be, do that. This is a lie, he joined in January, but it looks like he hasn't played at all. He was 300k, and look at his attributes, incredible. Julio Caesar, another one, left back, not really done too hot. This guy, Lambert de Hardney, stats look pretty good. He is a good first division player, so he's got plenty of room to grow. Looks like Joe Bellingham's the best one who's developed. He's a leading first division player. Really well rounded now. Good vision, good passing. Still plenty of room to grow as well. So it looks like he's been the best one. But overall, let me know how you think this rebuild went. Considering where our predictions are, season preview, predicted to finish second. So we have been achieving that. So we've been achieving our sort of expectation, apart from winning it 1 year in the league. We have won a couple of... How many have we won? We've won one of them. So we've won one Copa Libertadores, Brazilian Cup. We've won 2 Brazilian State. We've won 2 of them. Brazilian national team, we've won none. It has been completely dominated by Fla. But overall, let me know how you think we went, how you think we done, what could be improved. I think this has actually been my hardest rebuild, just because it's hard to attract really good players to Brazil, and there's a lot of fixtures. So I think this might actually be the hardest one I've done. I may come back in the future just to see if I can't best this, because I'm not happy with how this has gone entirely. So I may come back in the future just to see how we can do it. But that's been the Palmeiras rebuild. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. Thank you and goodbye. Hello, guys, and welcome to the very final episode of my Palmeiras save. I'm going to go through now. We'll see how we've done, because transfer-wise, there wasn't any business in January. There was nothing I could really do. So we're just going to go through transfer-wise and have a look and see how... we're going to see competition-wise how we've done. Awful. Okay, great. So we finished in the quarterfinals of the Sao Paulo State, which they're not happy about. Reached the semi-final of the Brazilian Cup, which they are happy about, and knocked out in the quarter-final of the Copa Libertadores. But we managed to finish second in the league. So a really, again, disappointing season. We haven't won anything, which is a massive drop-off compared to where we were. Let's have a look at our schedule to see how it's sort of gone for us. Right, so started really well. Rough patch here in May to be honest, July. Another rough patch here in August. And then November was just atrocious, losing 4 games in a row. Right, so that was really not great. How did our players do? So top goal scorer was Jose Manuel Lopez, who's developed quite nicely on this save. Should be. No, he's still leading. Doesn't need to be a star player, but he's developed quite nicely. He's done really well for us throughout the save. Richarlison done well as well with 17 goals, so he's done well. Tabitha got 16, and Firmino got 16, and Lewis Guerme got 16 is 14 even. So Firmino, nice. So they've done alright, but assist-wise, top one is Bruno Tabata again. This time he's got 28, Richarlison had 20, so those two done quite well assist-wise. Let's have a look at a couple of our young players just to see how they've gone on. So, developing quite nicely, good first division player. I think what the easiest way to do this actually might be, do that. This is a lie, he joined in January, but it looks like he hasn't played at all. He was 300k, and look at his attributes, incredible. Julio Caesar, another one, left back, not really done too hot. This guy, Lambert Dehardney, stats look pretty good. He is a good first division player, so he's got plenty of room to grow. Looks like Joe Bellingham's the best one who's developed. He's a leading first division player. Really well rounded now. Good vision, good passing. Still plenty of room to grow as well. So it looks like he's been the best one. But overall, let me know how you think this rebuild went. Considering where our predictions are. Season preview. Predicted to finish second. So we have been achieving that. So we've been achieving our sort of expectation apart from winning it 1 year in the league. We have won a couple of... How many have we won? We've won one of them. So we've won one Copa Libertadores, Brazilian Cup. We've won 2 Brazilian State. We've won 2 of them. Brazilian national team, we've won none. It has been completely dominated by Fla. But overall, let me know how you think we went, how you think we done, what could have been improved. I think this has actually been my hardest rebuild, just because it's hard to attract really good players to Brazil, and there's a lot of fixtures. So I think this might actually be the hardest one I've done. I may come back in the future just to see if I can't best this, because I'm not happy with how this has gone entirely. So I may come back in the future just to see how we can do it. But that's been the Palmeiras rebuild. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. Thank you and goodbye.